Howdy, everybody. Hey, hey. Good to see you guys. Oh, we got people here, even in the new time, new day, new time, or new day, same time. Welcome, everybody. Welcome. I was chatting before the show began a little bit with Charles, Chris. Great to see you guys. Vince, great to see you, of course. Evening all from stormy uh, Fukuoka, Japan. Welcome. Not storming here, just hot. The usual weather forecast from summer in Southwest Missouri. Hot and more hot. Christopher says, I'm planning on having a gaming open house on Thanksgiving weekend. Kind of like a mini con, sort of. Just want to give a place and games for people. That's awesome. What a great idea. Welcome, welcome. Shane. Hey all, howdy Shane from Canada. Welcome. All my Canadian and overseas viewers. I feel like this show out of all of them has a lot of a lot of live streams, war game live streams, with a lot of people from different countries all meeting together here. I think thanks to the time, since it's not late here in the U.S., means that you have, especially in Europe, right? A lot of you guys are able to then tune in a decent time. John, howdy. We'll let people trickle in here. David, howdy. Kenneth, John. Oh, we got all kinds of people coming in. Ooh, who knew that Friday at noon would have so many people showing up? Christopher says, I often watch playthroughs of videos I'm not very interested in, but want to push the analytics for them. Ooh, tune into my videos, please, everybody. Whether you like it or not, tune in. Maybe Friday will be the day we settle on and be the day that works for all of us. Welcome, welcome. Yeah, we got a lot of people coming in. Nice. Just started too, just a few minutes ago. So get people in here. So for today's show, first off, hope everyone's having a great week. You've made it. Weekend's almost here. Wherever you are, it's either Friday during the day, middle of the day, early, late at night, unless you're Vince, in which case you are. Vince, you're in Saturday already, aren't you? The Trooper! I saw Iron Maiden in concert at in Chicago at an arena in Chicago. It was the greatest concert. That's right. Yeah, you're somehow a time warp ahead of us. I don't know exactly how that works, but yeah, you've made it. You're in Saturday, so for us, your weekend has begun, but for sure, most of it's just about to start. But yeah, so it's like I said, nice and hot here. 90. What's it right now? Let's check the weather. Check the weather. Okay, it's 90. Feels like 90. It's 90. Feels like 95. Should be 96 or 98 today. Something like that. So yeah, 90s, hot and hotter. The in-laws were in town, and then yesterday, maybe I don't know, 6:30, 7 o'clock. My father-in-law, who likes to go outside and have a cigar, was like, "Oh, what's it like outside?" And I checked. I was like, "Well, it's still a little warm, but the sun had gone down. Thankfully, my back patio faces would it be the sun, where he sets in the west, so it faces east, something like that. Yeah. So anyway, in the evening it's cooler in my back patio than in the morning. So another David, howdy. Ronald from Newark, Ohio, checking in. Ronald, welcome, welcome. Absolutely. Charles, as usual, spoiling my mood with his weather. Thankfully, under 80 today. Vince has a wedding to go to, or is in. You getting married? Gaming in the evening. Ooh, that sounds nice. Love that. Love that. All right. So what are we at? What are we looking at here? So, okay. So yeah. So for this week, there's no topic, right? Today's topic is no topic. We're celebrating that it's Friday, and I want to settle in with the show's new schedule. So Fridays at noon, noon Central Standard Time, so my time, or wherever you are, wherever it just started, you know, 5, 6, 7, 8 minutes ago. That's when the show will be starting, and it looks like already. I mean, considering this is the first show on Friday, we already have a good amount of viewers just within the first six 6 minutes. Usually, it takes a while to kind of build up. Um, to build up people watching. So very nice to see you guys. Let's see. So I've no idea. My show notes. I'm kind of looking over here. So I really don't know how many people for sure will be showing up, but it looks like we're gonna have a bunch. I just didn't want to set a topic, like a certain topic, and then not have people come in, or just only have a few people. And now I'll stream to even just a handful of people. I don't care. I like doing this, and I like you guys showing up talking to me. Even just only a few of you because the schedule doesn't work. That's fine. I know that the 4th of July weekend show probably had the fewest viewers we've had, and that's because I'm sure it's because it's a holiday weekend. Um, but we already have more than we had then, so doing pretty good. Doing pretty good. Yeah, it's just a lot of fun to just casually kind of chat live with you guys. So Vince will be working at the wedding conductor. So no, not getting married. That's funny. Let's see, what do we got here? All right, so as usual, do a little briefing on the channel, how the channel's doing, what we got going on with the channel. Um, so first off, I'm in the middle of my series on Point Blank, which you can see over here. I've set up Point Blank V is for Victory from Sean Drillinger and Lock and Load Publishing. For those who don't know, it is a tactical squad level card based war game. It does have a solo mode, a solitaire mode, module, whatever you want to call it, and has player aids for it and all that. So it's got a dedicated solo mode, which obviously very much appreciated. Been getting into that one. The game has roots in the Lock and Load Tactical series. The Hex Encounter version. You can tell from the rules and everything, it definitely has roots in that, but it is its own unique beast card based game. So, initial first impressions is there's a lot of game there. I'm enjoying learning it. It's taken me a little bit longer to learn than some games I play. I do think that although the rulebooks is big text and lots of examples and pictures, which is very much appreciated. If it wasn't, the game would be really hard to learn. And the rulebook's solid. Seems really solid so far, which you guys know me and my rulebooks. You got a good rulebook, I'm going to give you opportunities to teach me the game. You got a poor rulebook, yeah, I'm not going to be happy about it. I'm going to tell everyone. Really enjoying the rulebook. Getting into like I said, just kind of learning the system. I'm not there yet, to have like final impressions on the system. And by the way, I'm talking about Point Blank over here, V is for Victory. I can't have final opinion, which I'll save most of that stuff for my ultimate when I do my review anyway. But just getting into the game. So Shane, did you do the artwork for Fire in the Mountain or for Point Blank? I assume Fire in the Mountain is what because you guys had mentioned where David here. Just see Fire in the Mountain by Legion. It looks pretty good. Yeah, I'm excited for that one. I need to get a copy. I mentioned this last week or on Sunday. Is Fire in the Mountain was one that I had reached out to Randy over at Legion saying, hey, how about a review copy? And he said, hey, how about you look over the rules and try it out on Vassal and let me know what you think. So I don't traditionally do play testing of games. I did it for Thunder at Dawn just because I love Blind, which is a Blind Swords American Civil War Blind Swords game. By the way, Frankie, I do bring up You're right. I do bring up blind swords every freaking week. I need to write you back. I think you messaged me on Board Game Geek or emailed me. I'll have to check that and write you back. But anyway, so with Thunder at Dawn, Claude Whalen reached out to me, the designer of it, and was like, hey, he knew that I was interested in because I live near Wilson's Creek Battlefield, and obviously a huge Blind Swords fan, and covered it on my channel. Some of my most popular videos are my Blind Swords videos. So he's like, hey, you interested in being like a lead playtester? And I was like, yeah, absolutely. So I jumped in on that. But other than that, I don't really like the playtest games. So I've had a couple people reach out to me on certain games, and I'm just like, no, thank you. But with this one, basically playtesting was done for the most part. Randy just wanted, hey, look, someone to look at the rules, especially someone, that the rules are important to me, and he knows how much that, it matters to me that the rules are good and the player aids are good. And so I kind of looked at all that stuff and just gave him a little bit of feedback. And again, I mentioned this last week. I don't have a copy yet, so I don't know how much of my feedback he took in. Although I did look at the rule book, I downloaded it and looked at the PDF of it. And it looks like there was some changes that I had suggested, which I appreciate and hopefully works out for everyone. So my minor contribution to this game. But anyway, Fire in the Mountain, John Paniski, published by Legion War Games. I would love to get a copy. Hope to get one soon to check it out. Jeff, howdy, Jeff. Hope all is well. All is great. All is great. Vern is home and life is good. And Shane says Point Blank. Okay, so you did the artwork on it. It's fantastic artwork. I really like the look of the game. First impressions, continuing it for, again, Point Blank V is for Victory from Sean Drillinger and Lockwood Publishing, is that it is on the higher end of complexity. A lot of people, including myself, previously have kind of compared it to Warfighter and where from DVG and where does it land on that spectrum. If you kind of have, really complex games and you have sort of the really easy ones, right? And you're looking at where it's relative, somewhat relative, but there can be, some themes and stuff in common. Warfighter and Point Blank do not have the same system, by the way. Let me be clear that they're not the same system. So you can't do a direct comparison. I think it's fair to say they're both card-based war games, right? And, and they both can be played solitaire. Warfighter is designed solo. Point Blank is a 2-player game with a solo module that kind of runs the other side for you. But initial impressions are that, if you have heavier and you have lighter, and I'd say Warfighter is maybe right in the middle, 5.5 out of 10 or whatever, 5 out of 10. I mean, it's right in the middle. I'd say medium weight, maybe slightly lighter. Point Blank is going to be heavier. Point Blank is going to be like a high medium on the weight for that sort of scale, right? That card-based war game. It also takes a lot of table space. Now, Warfighter also takes a decent amount of table space. Point Blank, I'm finding, takes even more. So it's a little bit of a struggle because I just have a very standard play area for my gaming. And I don't really want to expand it because when I'm playing there, I'm playing solo. I need to reach everything. And I don't want to have to stand up to reach something or lean way in. Oh, I got to grab that. I kind of want to be able to sit back here. You can see my setup. I can fit a full-size, traditional-size map, 22 by 34, with a little extra. Definitely, obviously, side to side, a lot more. Usually where I put like player aids, dice towers, cards, chits, whatever. As for like the height of it, I don't have a lot of room for that. Unfortunately, with Point Blank, it does lay out. They're supposed to lay out in like a height-based manner, right? So like you sit on one side, they sit on the other. But it's not, you'd sit on the long, or I should say you'd sit on the short edge, right? So it's longer between you and the other side. So fully set up the full map, and it's, and I don't want to get into an argument over, well, it's not a map. The play area, which it comes with a map, it comes with a mat, right, that you can like set out to put the cards on. But whether you use that mat or not, it's the same play area because you still put the cards out. You still have to have room to set all the cards, right? And the cards fit in these different sectors that have, you have areas, and you have, so like the columns are the areas, and you have rows, and it goes back so far. And so in totality, it's large. I'll just say that. So I have it set up on my table actually sideways, which I posted a picture on Facebook and Twitter, a couple pictures. So I have it like set sideways, so then I can actually play Otherwise, I can't even play the game. Really, just lengthwise, it just doesn't work for me. But sideways, you can still do it. So anyway, not to get hung up on that too much, but it is one that is a little more complex. So it's taking a little more time. And I think I mentioned last week, it's one of the few games where I've had to resort to watching some videos. Thankfully, Devin from Lock and Load, excuse me, has a really good video, like a two-parter, where Teach kind of runs through a basic scenario. And I think him and it's the paper version, which I always appreciate. And then him and Sean Drullinger do a playthrough of over like a tabletop simulator, which is nice to see. So anyway, on and on about Point Blank. Hey, I'm enjoying learning the game. Like I said, I just don't have a real opinion on the final thing yet. But John says, "You got me into Blind Swords, and it's my new favorite system. Love long straight attacks, and the day was ours. Like Stonewall Sword, and looking to get more." Oh, fantastic! Glad to hear it, John. Love the system. Obviously, you guys know that. I bring it up all the time. It is a great system. Great American Civil War system. Great. It's a two-player hex encounter. Two-player hex encounter system. Sorry, I'm like get caught by that. Start reading the comments and I like lose my train of thought. I think we're better at multitasking. Oh well, it happens. But the blind sword system works great solitaire thanks to the chip pull. So for those who don't know, and the system does have. He's made the system and designed by Herman Lutman, evil genius himself. He does have a couple other types of game, non-American Civil War. Was it At Any Cost? Metz 1870, I think, is one of them. So you can kind of look into those if you want, if you're not into the American Civil War. Anyway, as for the next game you should get, obviously you should get Thunder at Dawn, the one that I was lead playtester on, clearly. Designed by Claude Whalen, and also published by Revolution Games. Charles says, ordered Malta Besieged. Yeah, I know, had to. Looks like none of my pre-orders other than Stalingrad for 2 expansion are going to be released this year. For real, Charles? Didn't you say you had like 16 pre-orders? What happened there, Charles? Where are all your games at? Rick Barber's maps are popping up all over the place lately. Good. Good. All right. Bahasa. Apologies if my mispronouncing. I'm a Midwesterner in America, so pronouncing different names is not always my strength. Finally made a live show. I'm glad to see as many barber maps as possible since no more will ever be created. Yeah, it's he was a tremendous force and influence on the hobby, wargaming. Love his maps, love his art, absolutely. So definitely still sad that he's no longer with us. But he has his map, his art, and will live on, and we'll always have those. So Tadashi says, "Hey, howdy. Glad to see you from Russia, Japanese nationality. Fantastic. We got all kinds of people all over the place. I love it. Welcome. Charles says mostly Compass, some GMT, 1 Legion for your pre-orders. Okay. There's a bunch of games coming out. Even for Compass has some coming out soon that I'm looking to pick up. I had the Russian campaign. The whole thing pissed me off. What happened with Russian campaigns? I don't know what happened. I'm like, what happened behind the scenes? Because there's something weird going on with Russian campaign. So I'm talking about Compass's version of the Russian campaign, the like simpler version, right? So there's the whole GMT one. I'm not don't want to get involved in that. I'm not interested in that game. The really like complex one. But when it came to the Compass one, it has like very few pages, rules, all this stuff. Anyway, so it had released like a month ago, something like that, and then I had pre-ordered it right when it was releasing. I realized I'd missed the pre-order price from Compass. So then I found it at Miniature Market, which I order a lot of my war games from, that kind of after the fact style. So they have good prices. After the like prices for at Miniature Market are comparable to what usually a pre-order price is for a game, right? So if you don't get it pre-ordered, generally you can go to Miniature Market and get it for around the same price. Anyway, I went to pre-order it there, and it never came in stock. And then I just noticed, or just heard, I had a fly flying around in my room, and I got the door shut, so it's not leaving. I have anyway, pre-ordered from Miniature Market. Well, then I heard on from Compass that the game was out of stock or like out of print, and they have to print more. What? So they sold out already? So first of all, the game was just released like 2 seconds ago. So like it sold out already. And second, it never went to retailers. Which you may say, well, war games don't always go to retailers. True, but Compass Games, their games do go to a lot of retailers, including Miniature Market. So I'm just like, what happened? Like something weird happened in the background of like maybe when they ordered them, they only got so many copies, just enough to maybe fulfill the pre-orders. But I even swear I saw some people online who were saying they had pre-ordered it direct from Compass and they didn't get a copy, maybe, or it took them a long time. Something happened. Something happened behind the scenes. So something happened behind the scenes. I don't know what it is though, but I'm gonna get to the bottom of it. I'm gonna investigate. And by investigate, I just mean hopefully someone will tell me what happened. Howdy, David. Greetings from the UK. Welcome. David also says Russian campaign never made it to the UK. See, I don't know what happened. Something happened with the game, or like they must not have printed enough. And I don't mean like they didn't print enough because they didn't want to. Something must have happened where they couldn't print enough copies of it. Something. I know there was the whole snafu where and again, we're talking about the Compass version of Russian campaign, the simpler one, not the GMT one, right? Anyway, I wonder if something happened with where the map, because there was the whole snafu where the map they had printed it and it's mounted, right? They had printed it and then someone discovered, hey, this is like an old version and missing a bunch of mountains and stuff. So like, oh crap! So they like go back and reprint. So I don't know. So that's what I'm trying to. Yeah, I don't know if the one going to UK or America, because I know people have gotten it from Compass, but then something happened where they just didn't get. Or I don't know. It's just weird. It's slightly annoying because generally speaking, with these games, I like to. You guys know me. I'm cult to the new, right? So I like to get a game. Second Chance said they weren't allocated any after having it on their pre-order system. Yeah, so something happened, right? Because same thing, David, with Miniature Market, which is a big online retailer here in the United States, and they sell a lot of war games. They didn't get any. So something happened where Compass only had enough available to send to people who pre-ordered direct from them. And now they're saying like August or September. I want to say September maybe for additional ones. So something happened behind the scenes, and like I don't think retailers ever got access to the game, which is really unfortunate. I'm sorry I missed. I would have just pre-ordered from Compass, but I don't know. I forgot something happened. I didn't get my pre-order in. I thought I had it in. I think is what it was, and so I noticed I didn't double check. So I've started doing that a little bit more, double checking with different retailers, places where, um, the publishers where I need to get where I have to purchase a copy. They don't provide review copies. I go ahead and I'm starting to double check and make sure I got my pre-orders in properly. So anyway, enough about Compass, and they get enough buzz. All right. Notre Dame Irish 8. Howdy. Good to see you. It's been a little while. Hey, Wayne, I've been into World War II Eastern Front games lately. Want to have you spread the word on a small game, Drive on Voronezh. Again, I'm sure my pronunciation is horrible. By John Tyson to reach 200 in order to publish by Legion Games. Ooh. All right. So Legion Games, obviously, love them. Let's head on over to them. Let's see. Is it on their recent CPO editions? Where is it? I don't see it. Uh-oh. I don't see it. Oh, there it is. So any more CPOs reach 250. So low complexity design, low counter density, LCD series. Quicker to learn and play. Ooh, I like that. We have maps and stuff. So it'll be a 22 by 25 inch map, 176.6 inch counters, 8 pages rules. Ooh, I like that. We got map graphics or anything? Okay. very plain map, but playtest map, so that's understandable sometimes. Counter graphics be traditional counters, it looks like. Okay. Drive on Voronezh. Yeah, we'll go with that. Okay. John Tyson. So I'm a John Tyson fan of his American Civil War games from Hollandspiel. I don't know if I played any other games of his, but his John Tyson's American Civil War games from Hollandspiel are fantastic. The new operational series games, especially, but the older ones are also great. So big fan of his. David says only have three pre-orders: Stuka Leader, American Tank Ace, and Western Front Ace. Gregory Smith. Yeah, pretty much interested in all those. I'm definitely interested in those. And then John says really interested in Legion's upcoming Glorious Chance. Great Lakes Naval really interesting. Compass looks really good too. Yeah, I think it's a. We've gotten John asked if I gotten John Tyson's Mac and Lee. Play to get it. Any thoughts? I do have it. That was one of those games where I filmed an unboxing and recon, and then I played it a little bit, but I didn't get to play it enough to really go any further. And then I kind of I don't know what it was. I just lost interest, and so I put another game on the table. Well, as I was saying earlier, you guys know me. I'm a little bit cult to the new. Ooh, I am. I admit it. So sometimes I get a game and I'll play it, and then I get a new game, and I'm like, ooh, this new one has just caught my eye. I'm all about that, right? If a game catches your eye, subject, a topic, let it enjoy it, right? Why not? Like, it was not enough time on this earth to waste on games that maybe you're not as interested in at the time. So, which is really interesting though, because I do, like I said, huge John Tyson fan. Really enjoy all of his games. I covered the one on the Valley campaign one. I can't remember the name right now. I can't remember the name of it. What was the one that he? Someone help me out here. I'm trying to look it up. It was the other. Oh, Our God Was My Shield, of course. So I covered Our God Was My Shield. Did a bunch of videos on that one. Really enjoyed that one. So anyway, Mac and Lee. Nothing wrong with the game at all. I liked it, but I just need to play it more. But I do, so I do have it. I do an unboxing. That's one of the ones, like I said. So then after my unboxing, I don't upload it because I usually try to keep them my videos and my games like a series, right? So like I'll have the unboxing, and a few days later I'll have a playthrough or tutorial. A few days later I'll have a review, etc. So we'll get to it eventually. It's Our God Was My Shield was a good one. Oop, that ain't gonna do it. Let's Google search. I'm out of control over here. Sorry, guys. Anyway. Yeah, you got it. God Was My Shield. Yep. So, but so yeah, I just need to get back to Mac and Lee. But, speaking of which, a little bit. So let me check. Let me go back through my my channel briefing, my show notes here. So we talked about Point Blank V's for Victory. That's what I'm working on now. Next game will be Save South Vietnam from Bob Vaniff and Fortress Games. Solitaire dedicated game. He sent it to me a while ago. I told him I'd get to it. I will. I've been teasing it for a while. I will get to it. I will cover it. I think it's kind of got to the table. After that's done, though, I think that, and I hope I'll be caught up on my review copy commitments. I mentioned this before. When I buy a game, I cover it. But when I get review copies, assuming it's a game that I'm going to play, I try to put that ahead of the queue, right? At the head of the queue, because it's fair. They send me a copy for me to show off, for me to play. That's part of the commitment, right? Especially if I'm asking for them to, if they send it to me without asking me, that's a little different. But if they say, if I reach out and say, hey, can I get a copy of that to review? And they say, yep, sending you. And then I get it and I just ignore it. Like, that'd be kind of rude. So not to say that it can't happen or it hasn't happened. I may have a review copy or two that I've sat on my shelf and I've never covered. Ooh. But for the most part, I try to cover them. So anyway, I'll get that taken care of. But after that's done and I'm all caught up, I think I'm going to take a break from larger games for a little while. No promises on how long. Could be a month, could be a day, week, who knows. But I want to get back to doing some of the smaller, faster playing solitaire games. I recently had a blast with Scream Aim Fire Pacific, which is a smaller game, lighter game, faster playing, easy to film an entire playthrough. All these things that I just like doing. So I think that I'm gonna go back to that too, because Scream Aim Fire, like I said, Pacific, I had a lot of fun. And that was sandwiched between like A Most Fearful Sacrifice, which love the game. Check my review, if you don't believe it. But I mean, fairly heavy and very large, and literally physically heavy, by the way, the box. And then something like Point Blank, which I'm learning now, which is it's a heavier card game. I mean, it's probably I never played Fields of Fire, but Point Blank is definitely one of the heavier card war games I've ever played. Again, I haven't played Fields of Fire. Fields of Fire may be heavier. I don't know, but Point Blank is not an easy game to learn or play. So taking time with that it can be mentally draining to learn a game, play it, and then do videos on it as well, right? So I'm trying to complain because I got a sweet hobby here and a sweet gig, but it can be mentally draining, sort of like force feed yourself these games, and that's what us guys doing YouTube videos on these war games have to do, right? I mean, Ardwolf, Gary, Maurice Fitzgerald of Mo's Game Table, you know, uh, I guess Gimby Gamer, although I feel like he doesn't really do like traditional war games so much anymore. Like I feel like he used to do more of the hex encounter type of war games. Now I see a lot more of like miniatures games and stuff. So he's gone to the dark side. And you guys know how I feel about miniatures. Get them out of here. Get them out. Or that type of miniature anyway. I do like games with minis, but that's a different type of miniatures. But anyway, I lost my train of thought. It was all over the place here. Um, anyway, when we're covering these videos, we're covering these games, there's a point where it can be a little mentally draining if you're trying to cover all these different games, and then you get into these complex games, it's that much more, right? So when you have a game that has 8 pages of rules and you're learning it and you want to do videos, you want to know the game, be comfortable with it, right? It takes X amount of time and effort to learn the game, to be able to show it off and be able to speak to it and educate and entertain with it. Well, if you double those rules from 8 to 16, I feel like it's not twice as much work. It's like 4 times as much work, right? It's like exponential. Um, so when you have a large game with a big rule book, excuse me, and now something like Point Blank, although it does have like a 80-page rule book, that doesn't it's not an 80 page in the sense of like a hardcore war game, small text type, heavy text, a lot of pictures type of rule book. It's not like that at all. It's very large text, and there's a lot to it, but a lot of pictures and examples. So it's not as heavy as it seems when you see the page count of it. So I know that like Frankie was someone who mentioned that the page count looked a little. It was a lot. The game looked overwhelming. It is a lot of a game, but I don't think it's overwhelming. Wayne, John Tyson, also has a quad pack East Front game, loading in complexity, coming up at the end of the year from Compass. More Compass, man. They're all over the place. Damn Compass. Just kidding. Cool. Good. I think I did see that. I didn't see a whole lot about it. I like East Front games, but I'm not like in love with East Front games, right? Um, sorry guys, I have my phone on just in case my wife needs anything. So okay. Picture of my sunburn passed out from the other room, sleeping in her arms. Very, very cute. So, all right. David, new game from Ben Madison, Kaiser Creek looks very interesting. Yes, it does. I would like to. I need to get that. I need to get a copy of that one. So that would be one I would look at. Now it's not a lighter game, from what I hear. It's similar system, I believe. And by the way, Kaiser Creek, for those who don't know, our Ben Madison, the maestro of solitaire war games, published by White Dog Games. Kaiser Creek's looks like we said Ben Madison. I don't know. I'm tired today. I'm a little tired. Sorry, guys. We're killing it though on viewers. Holy crap, we got a lot of people tuning in on a Friday. Love it. Love to see it. Love to see it. So anyway, but I really want to get that one. Strategic World War One. But I think it's both on the same system as Jeff Davis, Confederacy at War, also from Arvin Madison and White Dog Games. So definitely interested in that one. I had looked at getting a copy before, right before it was released, and then basically Michael Kennedy. I was like all excited. Michael Kennedy, owner of White Dog Games, was like, "Well, he's like, it's not ready yet." So I was like, "Oh, okay." So I need to follow up and bug him. Charles, nothing wrong with the dark side. Talking about miniatures. No, you're wrong, Charles. There is something wrong with them. They're evil. Too much money, too much time. Well, they take too much time, take too much money. Bad enough having just those paper war games, paper games. Bad enough. So, Chris asked, "Do you take any downtime between games, specifically rule sets? Just give your brain a break." Yeah, and that's why I try. So two things. One, I try to mix up my war games. I try to with like heavier and lighter, heavier and lighter. I kind of want to, I think, go for like a string of lighter, right? But traditionally, that's why I try to mix it up. So that's why you saw, like, for instance, the Most Fearful Sacrifice, which is a very, very large game, heavier rule set. And then went to Scream and Fire Pacific, much lighter, much easier to grok, much easier to play, you know, simpler system, all that good stuff. And now I'm back to a heavy one to Point Blank. Now, like you said, I'm getting a little tired out. I also got my new baby boy at home, so that's a different issue as well. But for gaming wise, yeah, I like to have that kind of easier games in between to break it up, and I plan to have play some easier games after Point Blank, not Point Break, starring Keanu Reeves and he plays Brody's, I think the character's name. Oh my god, I can't remember his name. Anyway, we're gonna do Save South Vietnam, which will be, I think, more of a low medium complexity, so not as heavy as Point Blank or Most Fearful Sacrifice. And after that, I want to do some lighter games. Patrick Swayze, yeah, Swayze. Go Swayze. Can always say Patrick Swayze. I can't remember. Thanks, JB. Yeah, David, Chris, Patrick Swayze. All right, we got some Patrick Swayze fans in here. Swayze. Yeah, baby. Apologies to Patrick Swayze and everyone else for not remembering his name. But anyway, like I said, I'm tired. Dang it. Cut me a break. But the other thing I was going to say is what I'll do is I do play non-war games. So I don't think you can really see it over there anymore. I kind of got them covered by just piles of games. I got a bunch of games I've been selling. The pile back here I need to put back up. But anyway, but I play some non-war games to kind of reset the palette a little bit. So I play Hero Quest, the new Hero Quest, and then I play. What the hell do I have? I want to get into Core Worlds, the deck building game. I picked up all the with the solo Nemesis or whatever it is. I want to get into that. And then, I do like gaming on my Xbox Series X, and then PC gaming. So I'll do both of those, and then Nintendo Switch too. So I play an RPG here and there, a nice easy RPG, not a crazy one. David. Oh man, it is a great movie. Point Blank. No, Point Break. Oh, guys, it's a rough one for me today, guys. Thanks for putting up with me. So anyway, actually, one I want to look at, by the way, guys. Would you consider a nice RPG? Ooh, good question. You're talking about like what I was talking about right now. So I don't know if I may not have finished my sentence because, like I said, I'm dragging a little bit today, guys. Sorry, I apologize. I appreciate you guys putting up with me though, even if I'm tired and forgot Patrick Swayze's name. which is unforgivable sin. So what I was saying was I like a nice, easy RPG right now, right? So something I can just kind of fire up, play. So for instance, on my Switch, I've been playing Dragon Quest 11. I think it's 11, right? Whatever the newest one is, and it's not new anymore. It's been out for a few years, but that one's I'm having a lot of fun with that. I like the art style. So is the Akira Toriyama style, right? Artwork. So like Dragon Ball Z, all that Dragon Ball. It brings me back to my childhood. Really enjoy that. I know some of you, some of the older grognards are probably like, "What the hell are you talking about, Wayne? Dragon Ball Z? That's for children." Like, well, I mean, yeah, but so we're games sometimes, right? But not our serious historical conflict simulations. Those aren't games. They're simulations. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. Um, I do like serious RPGs or more in depth ones. Back in the day, played a lot of like Morrowind and then Oblivion, and now I'd like to see what's the new Starfield or whatever. Is that what it is? The new one coming from Bethesda, published by Microsoft or whatever. So that'd be interesting in that one. But anyway, so nice easy RPG like that, nice and easy. Maybe I forgot the word easy before. Animal Crossing New Leaf, 10 years every day of the day. Yeah, some of these games, it's like kind of like long-term addictive, right? Like you want to keep checking back in, just play a little bit. You don't have to play that long. Just log in, play a little bit. Um, and then, I like on my Xbox or my PC. So I picked up on PC recently. I picked up the Starship Troopers Terran Command real time strategy game. Huge real time strategy gaming fan. Um, but a so I need to play that one more though, and um, I'll play. I don't play Call of Duty. I guess Warzone, but I really suck because I don't play enough to compete with these like 13-year-olds that are hopped up on caffeine and G Fuel, and so that are like flying around the map just like like insane. I'm like, I can't keep up with this. Now when I was in my 20s at college, came home, come home from class and log on and play like Modern Warfare. Pillars of Eternity and Wasteland 3 on Xbox. Yeah, I think Marwin was the best of the group, although graphics are dated now and clunky interface. Yeah, it's too bad. It's like an oldie now. Red Dead Online. There's no support from Rockstar. Yeah, I think they kind of abandoned those games. But anyway, sorry guys, I don't mean to go off track and talk about video games. We're going to talk about war games here. So one game I don't want to look at, and it's funny that I was just picking on old picking on Compass and saying like, oh, enough talking about them. They had enough buzz. Well, guess what? We're going back to them. Here's it. They publish a lot of games, so we're gonna go back to old Compass and let's take a look at Brothers at War 1862. Now I don't watch, so it's on Kickstarter right now. You could pre-order from them, but then those are the Kickstarter. So it's for them, they don't need Kickstarter, and they've said this before, and I'm fine with it. I don't care about this. Is that they use Kickstarter as more of a pre-order system and to drum up it's like advertising for them, right? They don't need Kickstarter to publish it; they can just publish it on their own. But Brothers at War, one that I'm really interested in this one is the fact for a couple of reasons, really. There we go. So Brothers at War. It's from Christopher Moeller and Compass Games. It's on Kickstarter, like I said, right now, and you can pre-order from them. I think once Kickstarter's done, it says it should be released in September of 2022, so just in a couple months. Obviously, I'm sure you can tell from the title, it's an American Civil War game. It's actually a quad with 4 battles, each with their own map. So you can see it has Antietam, Fox Gap, Mill Springs, Valverde, Brigade Command, the American Civil War, and another thing is that it's these like big hexes. So 22 by 34 map sheets, but they're like really big hexes, like inch hexes. Complexity. So it says medium high, although it says quick playing brigade commander's view. Well, that's interesting. How can the complexity be medium high, but then it's a quick playing game? I would argue that it kind of can't be both. Those are kind of mutually exclusive. Can't have a complex game that's quick playing. It just doesn't really work. Anyway, solitaire suitability is high because actually it uses chit pull from what I saw. I believe so. I don't have like an inside source on this game, but I believe it has chip pull. So here's, Antietam, Miller's Cornfield. It's like a section of Belfort, right? It's not all of Antietam. It's it's like a section. So Miller's Cornfield, Mill Springs, Thunder in Kentucky. Love that. I mean, get the big old hexes, and if it's chip pull, American Civil War, South Mountain, whew, big topic right now. South Mountain's getting a lot of games. Verde guns on the Rio Grande, the New Mexico territory. That's pretty cool too. So counters, so you can see the colors based on the colors for the chit draw. I believe would be these right here to draw to see who activates. Cards. Okay, so you'd have cards, which limits the solitaire suitability a little bit, but you can make it work. I mean, it looks pretty good. Looks interesting. Player aid here. Good stuff in this player aid. A lot of stuff on here. Giant 1.5 inch hexes. Holy crap. 70.70. Okay, so 3/4 inch units, 1.5 inch hexes. Yeah, I mean, it's a big bad boy. So it looks like you could do maybe the units themselves plus like a status marker or something. Brothers of War. All right. So I'm very interested in this one. Very interested in hearing more about this one for sure. All right, let me check. Oh, no. No comments. And probably I'm the only one interested in that one. That's okay. Anything else you guys got for me today? I know I'm not as entertaining today. I don't have as much going on today. Like I said, I just want a nice, easy stream. I want to see how many people would be coming on a Friday at noon to, join us, and so many people be chatting with us today because I had no idea. I figured it could be any amount. I was like, it could be a handful of people, it could be a bunch of people. I had no idea. So just glad to see you guys here on this beautiful Friday. Beautiful Friday. So anyway, yeah, Brothers at Arm, Brothers at War, 1862. I'll have to research that one more myself. I do have it. I did back it myself, so I did back it on Kickstarter or whatever. So all right, checking my show notes here. I think I'm caught up. I'm caught up on all my notes. This is it. This is it, guys. So you guys have questions or what? We chit chat for a little bit here. Anything you guys want to look at, talk about? We take questions for a little while. We'll probably only do like an hour long show today, so we're not done yet, but maybe another 15 minutes. So usually we go an hour 15, hour and a half. We'll go an hour today, I think. Why not both, Charles? Why not both? Rebel Fury. So I haven't. I have the Gettysburg game based on that system, or maybe the originator of that system, right? I have Gettysburg, and I have the deluxe version or whatever it is, direct from C3I or whatever, right? Which, speaking of which, you can say I have which is funny when you buy a C3I magazine and you get the deluxe box. It's just cardboard. It's like a cardboard box. Like it just puts in. And it doesn't even it's not like a fancy cardboard box. It like just folds around it. It's like an extra $6 for that cardboard. But I do like to get it just because it protects the game more during shipping. I feel like sometimes you get these magazine war games that are in like an envelope, and the freaking mailman will just shove it in there. It's like, come on, man! Like, can't you tell it doesn't want to give? It's got cardboard in there. Can't you tell? Nope. Fold it and stick it in the old mailbox. So anyway, oh man, any questions from you guys? Anything else you got today? Like I said, just a nice easy one today. Just imagine, would it be unfunded? The vast majority of my American Civil War games are old Avalon Hill ones. I have so many titles I don't have a burning desire to get any more until I go through what I've got. Yeah, I know that when you build up a bunch of games, trust me, I get it. It's like, Do I need more? For me, obviously, doing the YouTube channel content, the new reviews and stuff, and again, I've said before, I'm cult to the new, guilty, like a new game, new systems. I like exploring new designs. It's not the old ones are bad. I just like exploring the new stuff because I want to see, first off, I want to show it off to you guys, right? Because I want you guys to see it. So whether it's good for you, whether you're like, yep, that's what I want, or if I show it off and you're like, I don't think that's for me, perfect. I just want to educate and entertain. My two goals always in my videos. But no, not today. No war game accessibility topic, not today. But um, you know, I do like to get new ones in and see what they're doing, see what the designers, what sort of new changes they're making, new mechanics, what the art looks like. I do think that when you look at new games compared to older ones, definitely seeing an improvement, I believe, in component quality and then artwork, right? Sort of production, overall production value. Not necessarily design per se. I mean, it just depends on the game, right? The game and the designer, but definitely seeing some fantastic component quality. Pre-rounded counters, big maps, big hexes, nice maps, etc. Not too big. Again, I still only want like one size, so like more of like big hexes maybe, or mounted maps, stuff like that. So Charles, need to think about games that might not see the light of day in over a year from now. Oh boy. Let's not think about those games. Long, long, long time from now. Chris asks, when you say simpler games, are you thinking towards folio types of magazine games? I am. I am. So, obviously, I have the new C3I here. So this has a solo game in it, a like a simple Roman themed game, about the Battle of Teutoburg Forest, Roman themed. And then I have a couple decision games folios that are the solitaire ones that I haven't covered at all. So like I've covered Quezon 68. I have the the Suez Canal one, right? Suez shoot. What's the year on it? Oh shoot, I can't remember what it is. The year, but you guys know what I'm talking about. I have that one. I'm thinking of covering that one. Just play through. Like I wouldn't do like a full review and stuff on it just because it's an older game. It doesn't need that. But also then I have from is it World at War magazine or Strategy and Tactics? I have what's the latest like solitaire based on the Battle of Crete 41 system. What's the new one on that one from Decision Games? Oh man, I can't remember it all. Join me in a exploration of which game I'm talking about because I cannot remember it all. I should probably go over to Strategy and Tactics. I believe it's Strategy and Tactics. Oh my gosh. One of those websites taking forever. Internet. Struggling. Did someone say it yet, maybe? Descent on Malta. Yeah, that's the one. Anton showing up. Anton or Anton. Descent on Malta. Yep, that's the one. So I have that one. Although that, I guess, may not be a simpler game, actually. I don't know. May not be that much simpler. So, but anyway, some of these folios, easier magazine games, just things like that, right? I'd like to do that for a little while. Again, even Kaiser Creek, just because it's a smaller, it's not super light, right? It's maybe more of a medium weight, based on Jeff Davis, Confederacy of War. But I feel like it's the type of game I love to cover, right? I think that I get a little bit burned out mentally on the big games. Like I said, Most Fearful Sacrifice, just it's such a huge production. It's fantastic, but man, that's a lot of game. And same with Point Blank, right? It's I'm having fun with it. Not a review yet. Can't do my review yet, but it's a lot to learn. It's a lot to learn. It's a lot to play. A lot to remember while you're playing. There's a lot to the game. It's not Warfighter. You know what I mean? If you think Warfighter's complex, you're gonna struggle with Point Blank. If you think Warfighter is simple and like a game, that's another comparison of Warfighter and Point Blank. Warfighter is a game. It's like a game themed with war, right? Point Blank, they're still trying to do like a simulation to it. Line of sight. which the line of sight rules are interesting considering it's a card game. Very interesting to me. So anyway, Jeff asks, in your opinion, which game is better, Long Street Attacks or Most Fearful Sacrifice? Haven't bought Fearful Sacrifice yet, but it does look pretty fun. Long Street Attacks is my preferred game. I think it's Blind Sword system, the OG system. Well, it's actually not OG. That's the with Long Street Attacks. It's now been modified over a few games. But Herman Lutman and Fred Manzo and all those the crew have modified the system a little bit by the time you get to Long Street Attacks. But I feel like it flows very well. It's a great system. Most Fearful Sacrifice is also good, but it's different. The card based system is a lot different. Um, I like it obviously a lot. I called it the most definitive, probably the most definitive Gettysburg game on the market today, especially because you're looking at the entire Battle of Gettysburg. Um, for me, so again, it is. And what you asked me, what's your opinion? Which of course is my opinion, but I prefer Long Street Attacks because it's more playable. Even though the rules are a little heavier, it's more playable. You don't get as much of the battle, of course, but it's more playable. One single map sheet. You can sit down, set it up. Yeah, you're probably not gonna be able to finish the long game in one evening, but you just get, you're not going to feel as overwhelmed with all the stuff. Again, it's not a negative on Almost Fearful Sacrifice because it's a tremendous achievement in production, both from a design standpoint, from Herman Lutman and his guys, to the actual production from Flying Pig Games. Um, everything about it is big, huge, epic production. But epic production and epic game isn't always the one, right, that I would say is the best or better games. If you had to look at those two, I would say Long Street Attacks. Although I'm gonna tell you that from what I hear with the Most Fearful Sacrifice, if it's not sold out yet, it's gonna be selling out soon. So not to give FOMO to people. I know that happens, right, where people get FOMO. I'm not as guilty as I used to be. I used to be a big FOMO guy, but now I'm more like, which fear of missing out, right? It'll come up again. And if it doesn't, oh well, life goes on. But if you have FOMO, be careful. Yep. Charles said, just realized during the day when the family's at work, got a nice table in the living room that I can run a couple solitaire sub or airplane missions. If the table in my room has got a full size game. Ooh, I like that. So right now my tables are filled with crap. I look like a hoarder in here. I swear, my house, I have a very clean, organized house. This is not my usual. This that's my usual because I have game set up, right? Which, as you guys know, right, when I do my thing, I have my game set up, which is Point Blank, Vs for Victory. You can see the charts down here. There's some on the other side behind me. And then I have a bunch of player aid copies / other ones that I printed off, or again, they just were the ones that came with it that I have all set up over here to help me play the game. And the rulebook, I just set that up so you guys can see the rulebook. Behind it is another chart, another player aid chart. So yeah, I'm out of control when it comes to stuff like that. But anyway, usually, or maybe before a couple months ago, I would have this table free and I would set games up on this table that were not games that either games I wasn't going to film, or maybe I just had a big game over here and I wanted to play, a quick little one over here. Yeah, like I said, I wasn't going to film it, or maybe I was going to film it eventually, but I just wanted to have it set up to learn it. In the meantime, when I did my play testing of Thunder at Dawn, that's where I had it set up over on this table. Or when I play my non-war games, like I said, I play non-war games. Hero Quest is a big fan of that one right now. Because Hero Quest, the dungeon crawler, it has the app that plays the DM for you, plays the, Gorgon, whatever the hell the bad guy's name is, I can't remember. But anyway, he runs all the monsters, and the app handles it. So I can set up the game, I can play it, I can play multiple heroes and whatnot, characters, and the app actually handles the monsters, which is really cool. So anyway, so any of my other card games stuff, I'll play them over here. Non-war games, or whatever. And Chris, thanks for bringing it up, Jeff. Some more questions about which one. Yeah, I think that Long Street Attacks and A Most Fearful Sacrifice. I think that if you want the epic production and you want a big game and you're ready for a big game, big, beautiful mounted maps, but I mean, they're ginormous. Like I mentioned this during my review, so this isn't, like a new thing, but I can't fit. I can't fit the map on here on my table, right? The maps from Most Fearful Sacrifice. So I can only play some of the smaller scenarios. That's what I played through before I did my review. So I wasn't able to play the full like campaign game. So it's having that you either have to have huge table space and or I think there's like a vassal module or a tabletop simulator module, something like that. So, but anyway, if you're ready for that epicness and you can handle it, Most Fearful Sacrifice may be the game you should go to. If you want a little bit more of a tighter, self-contained game that's a little bit more crunchy, a little bit more detailed, yeah, maybe Long Street Attacks is the one for you. David asks, Wayne, did you order the new version of Great Battles of History, Julius Caesar's Deluxe? Are you kidding me? Do you know me? Do you know me, David? Of course I did. I had that pre-ordered, or P500 or whatever the hell they call it, for a while. I have, you guys can't see it, but I have most of the Great Battle of History games. It's one of the few game series that I like collect. And I have all of the Julius Caesar ones. Well, both of them. There's only two, I guess. But I have both of them, and I love them. And I cannot wait for the new version, so I can have all of them together and with bigger counters, or not bigger counters, but thicker counters. So it should be the new thicker counter, like in SPQR. Versus the OG ones are thin and small, right? So they're half-inch counters. They're also very thin, so it's like kind of a pain in the ass. So with like SPQR, it's really nice having the thicker counters, even if they're still only half-inch. Hey, my pleasure, Jeff. You have a great rest of your day as well. Absolutely. Kenneth says, I have one 3x6 and two 2x6 tables. So I have a lot of flexibility. One map to monster. Whew. Man. That's a lot of table space. Hey, good for you though. Good for you. Yeah, if I set up my room a little differently, I could probably do a little bit better. But I like my setup as is. It does, unfortunate with these bigger games, more table space style games. Not heavier, right, but bigger, physically bigger. I just can't really do them, which is unfortunate. But I like my setup. I like my setup for reviewing, for filming. Excuse me. With my lights, my arm for holding the camera. That's all the stuff the way I got it set up. I like it. It works for me. It needs to be cleaned up back there, especially over here. This all needs to be cleaned up. Like bam, bam. Need to sweep all this. Sweep it right off. I got a bunch of games. At least I need to put back online for sale, or I should give them away. Do a giveaway. But like, here's 12 games, guys. Who wants them? Who wants them? All right. Bedroom table 4x6. Ooh, jeez. Beast of a table. Kenneth says, my apartment is 25 by 16. What? Where do you live? Your apartment is, wait a second. Your apartment's 25 by 16, but you have a 3x6 and two 2x6 tables. Kenneth, is your apartment nothing but wargaming? Walk in, there's just like Campaign of North Africa set up over here, Most Fearful Sacrifice set up over there, and some folio games just interspersed about little tiny games just for fun. That's funny. All right, let's go ahead and wrap it up. Any final questions, you guys? I said we're only doing an hour this week. We'll do more next time. Ton of viewers, considering it's our first show on Friday at noon. I'm really glad you guys came and showed up. I really appreciate it. You guys are the best. You guys would make this worth doing. I said I would do it if there's only a handful of people, and I would. So if I only get a couple of people showing up each week, we'd still do it. But we're getting a ton of people, and a great first show for sure. Christopher, thanks for making. I'm glad you can make it this week live. Vince, cheers to you, friend. Great Friday, and you have a great Saturday since you're now in the future. You and your time machine, your DeLorean. Everyone else, thank you so much for coming out. Really had a lot of fun. Really glad things went so well this week. And we'll be back next Friday at noon Central Standard Time. So whatever time that is for you, join the crew, be here, and we're going to have a lot of fun. So until next time, everybody, later.